Namaste yogis, and welcome to Lifted Lotus Yoga. My name is Lacey and it's an honor to be your guide. In this practice I'll be guiding you through a deep stretch where we'll be focusing on the legs. There's no props necessary. We'll be joined by my daughter Angel, so if you're looking to intensify some of the poses that we'll be doing, go ahead and follow her. If you're looking to modify some of those poses, go ahead and follow me. Whenever you're ready, roll your mat out, find yourself into the middle of it, and we'll meet you there. Once you've found yourself into the middle of your mat, make your way into tabletop pose, coming into an all-fours position, bringing the wrists below the shoulders and the knees below the hips. Make sure that the feet are long behind the knees and not beat in towards each other. Spread the hands out onto the mat, feeling all four corners of the palms rooting down into the earth. Spreading the fingers out. Draw the belly button in to support the low back. Keep the spine nice and straight. Gaze between the hands as you reach the crown of the head forward and draw the tailbone back. Nice job. With your next inhale, I'd like you to sway the belly down, gaze and hips rise up for a cow pose. Exhale, draw the belly button in as you tuck the chin, tuck the hips, coming into a cat pose. Inhale, sway the belly down, gaze and hips rise up, cow pose. Exhale, sway the belly up, draw the tailbone in, draw the chin in, cat pose. Let's do it 2 more times. Inhale, sway down as you press the heart through the gate of the arms. Exhale, sway up as you press into the hands and pull the belly button in. 1 more time, all on your own. Inhaling into the cow, and exhaling into the cat. Inhale, come back to center. Finding that nice, strong, neutral tabletop. Start to sway the hips side to side, right to left, left to right. Maybe going a little further left and a little further right every time. Next time you find yourself over to the right, swing your hips down and around to your heels, over to the left and back up to center. Do that 2 more times to the right, big hip circles. You might hear pops and cracks, and that's just fine. Just move through it. After that last round, find yourself back to center, adjust your knees, bring them back underneath the hips, and then start to sway the hips side to side again. A couple more times. Next time you find the hips all the way to the left, swing them down and around to the heels, over to the right, and back up to center. Big circles to the left with the hips. Go 1 or 2 more times. Perfect. After you've gone that last time, find yourself back into that neutral tabletop. Find stillness, press through the hands, press through the left knee and extend the right foot long behind you, but keep the toes to the mat. With those toes pressing down into the mat, take a big inhale. And as you exhale, press the right heel back as you push into the hands. Get a good deep stretch through the back of the Achilles tendon, up into the calf, maybe into the back of the knee. Keep the belly button drawn in, keep pressing through the hands, keep breathing for 2 more rounds. Inhale, come back to center. Slide the right knee underneath the right hip, but have it right at a hover. And then start to do big circles with your right knee, going 1 direction for about 3 times, and then stop and go the other direction 3 times. Perfect. When you've gone those 3 times, inhale, lengthen it all, the right leg long behind you, stretch it as far as it'll go. Spread the toes, and then exhale, bring that right knee back to a hover underneath the hip. Start to do fire hydrants, lifting the right knee out to the right side. Doing this repetitively over and over again for another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, release the right knee down and lengthen it long behind you. Now, point the right toes to the sky as you bend the right knee, and then take the gaze to the sky, just like you're going to do a cow pose with a cattail. Exhale, release the right knee back to the earth, tabletop pose. Resettle the knees, resettle the hands. Perfect. Coming into the other side, press through the right knee, press through the hands, and step the left leg long behind you, toes stay to the earth. Take a big inhale, and as you exhale, press into the hands and push the left heel back. Get that same deep stretch that you did on the other side. Take another breath, maybe 2. Inhale, draw yourself back to center. Slide the left knee back underneath the left hip, but have it right at a hover. And start to do those big circles with your left knee going one direction 3 times, and then the other direction 3 times. Perfect. Inhale, lengthen that left leg long when you're ready. Stretch it as far as it'll go. Stretch through the toes. Exhale, bring that left knee back to a hover underneath the hip and start to do those fire hydrants out to the left side. Doing it as much as you can for another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, release it down and lengthen it long. Point the left toes to the sky, bend the left knee. Take the gaze to the sky, finding that cow pose with that cattail. Nice job. Exhale, slowly come back down. Beautiful. Bring the toes to touch behind you. Sit bones onto the heels, forehead to the earth, child's pose. Separate the knees out a little wider, maybe to just the outer edges of your rib cage. Letting the hips sink a little deeper towards the sit bones. Doing your best to just relax into it. Softening the breath. Lengthening it out. Filling up in your inhales. And emptying out on your exhales all the way to the bottom. Two more breaths. With your next inhale, slowly start to walk yourself up onto your knees. Bring your knees to touch. Slide the hands onto the thighs, up high onto the thighs, almost to the crease of the thighs. Lengthen up through the crown of your head. And we're going to take 3 cleansing breaths here. So exhale everything through the nose. Take a big inhale, fill up through the belly, expand through the ribs. Open the mouth and let it all out. Do that 2 more times, nice and slow. Inhale, fill up. Exhale, empty. Maybe you want to close the eyes on the last one. Big inhale. Soften the face, exhale. Perfect. Flutter open the eyes. Come up off of the heels, curl the toes under, and then bring the sit bones back onto the heels, stretching out the bottom of the feet. Go ahead and reach down with your hands and curl under those little pinky toes as well. Now you can choose to slightly lean forward, taking a little bit of the pressure off of the feet, but still stretching them out enough to where you feel a decent stretch. And then you can decide how far you want to lean back. Maybe you want to lean back further, creating a little more intensity, or maybe you want to keep forward. You decide what works best for you, and hold for another 5, 4, maybe close the eyes, 3, 2, and 1. Flutter open the eyes, come up off of the heels, uncurl the toes and wiggle them out. Bring the tops of the feet back onto the mat, sit bones back onto the heels, hands onto the thighs, or actually let's bring the hands to the outsides of the ankles for a moment. We're going to counter that stretch through the bottoms of the feet by stretching the tops of the feet. So keep the tops of the feet pressing into the mat. And with your next inhale, slowly start to lift the knees off of the mat, rolling onto the front of the ankles, the tops of the feet. You can choose to stay just like this with the fingertips onto the mat as a guide. Or if you want to take it a little bit further, invite the tops of the hands onto the tops of the thighs or the knees, whatever works best for you. Take another breath. 1 more breath. And with grace, exhale, slowly make your way down. Perfect. Walk the hands out in front of you. Lift the feet up off the mat. Oh, shake them out, wiggle them out. Find the wrists below the shoulders, knees below the hips. Curl the toes, hoist the hips, and exhale into a downward facing dog. Coming into our first downward facing dog of our practice, make sure you find that upside down V shape with your body. So tailbone reaches towards the back of the room. Pull the belly button in. Relax through the neck. Maybe shake the head no slightly. Maybe nod yes with a smile on your face. Press strongly through the hands as they're spread out onto the mat. Your hands can be a little wider than shoulder or right at shoulder width distance. You decide. Feet about hip width distance or maybe a little bit wider. It's up to you. You can have a slight bend in your knees here. I want you to explore your down dog. So maybe pedal the feet. Maybe sway the hips. Perfect. Go ahead and find stillness. And then we're going to find a roll in and out of our downward facing dog. So with your next inhale, roll yourself forward into a plank pose, bringing the shoulders over the wrist. Slightly bend the knees as a hover over the earth and push the sit bones back towards the heels as you roll them back high to the sky, down dog. Inhale, roll forward, plank pose. Push back, roll up, down dog. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, roll forward. Roll back, push up, down dog. Nice job. From that last roll, start to walk your way to the top of the mat. Now you can tiptoe or flat foot, you decide. As you make your way towards the top of the mat, find your feet hip width distance apart and exhale into your forward fold. Crown of the head drops towards the earth. Take an inhale, halfway lift, bring the fingertips just to the shins. Exhale, fold, and slide the hands to the back of the legs. Inhale, slide the hands up the back of the legs, halfway lift, bringing the hands just to the back of the calves. Exhale, fold. Keeping the hands on the back of the legs, inhale, halfway lift, slide the hands up the back of the legs, just behind the glutes. Exhale, fold. Keep the hands heavy like weights, draw the belly button in, slight bend in your knees, and inhale, roll yourself up one vertebra at a time. Keep the belly drawn in, keep the core engaged as you roll all the way up into mountain pose. Letting the crown of the head reach towards the sky. Maybe taking a little bit further, taking the chin to the sky, maybe rolling the heart open, spreading the collarbones. And then an exhale to bring yourself back to center. Nice job. Maybe a little sway, maybe a little shift on the feet, readjusting your ground, finding your earth again, maybe a little wiggle. And then finding your mountain pose again. Take a big inhale, circle, sweep the hands high to the sky. As you exhale, reach the arms out wide and swan dive forward as you hinge at the hips, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands on the mat, identify the left foot, pick the left foot up and step it behind you. Drop down onto your left knee. We're coming into a low lunge or Anjaneyasana. Make sure your right knee is tracking over your right ankle, right toe still facing the top of your mat. Plant your left hand down to the inside of your right foot and reach the right hand high, stacking the shoulders into a nice twist. Spark up through the right fingertips. Then we're going to do big windmill circles with the arms. So big inhale and start to big circles with the right arm. Go 3 times, one direction. And then stop and go 3 times the other direction. Big windmill circles. When you've done those 3 circles on both sides, stop. Release the right hand down to the outside of the right foot. Lift the left knee up and spin the left foot down onto the mat to where it's parallel with the back of the mat. Invite the right elbow onto the right knee for a side angle, and then reach the left hand high. If you want to intensify this side angle, you can reach the right fingertips to the inside of that right leg, or keep that right elbow resting on the right knee. Press up and out of the right elbow if it's resting there, and lengthen up long through the left fingertips. Nice job. Bring that left hand down onto the left hip. Keeping the left hand on the left hip, inhale, rise like you're going to come into a warrior 2. Bring your right hand onto your right hip as well. And then bring all your attention into your legs. Notice how you're holding your legs. Adjust through the back foot, engage the back foot. Maybe press through that pinky edge of that left foot. Lift up slightly through the left arch on the foot. Engage through the inside of the left thigh. Now notice the right leg. Press into your right big toe. Keep the right knee tracking over the right ankle. Perfect job. Keeping the hands on the hips. Next inhale, straighten through the front leg. As you exhale, bend into the left knee, coming into a Skadasana, one-legged low squat to the back of the mat. Your right leg is long. You can release the hands to the mat, or you can have your hands to heart center, whatever works best for you. Feel that pinch at the top of the left hip here as you're extended in your Skadasana, one-legged low squat. We're going to do a dance between sides. So take a big inhale, and as you exhale, walk yourself over towards the top of the mat for Skadasana to the right. Nice job. Big inhale. As you exhale, walk yourself back to the left, to the back of the mat. Nice job. Bring your arms out wide into a T. Now, with strength, we're going to rise back up into our Warrior Two to the top of the mat. So big inhale, press into the feet, and rise into your Warrior Two at the top of your mat. Adjust your feet to find that good stance, that strength in the legs. Arms are long this time. Spread out through the fingers. Gaze over the front right hand. Take one more breath. Big inhale. Exhale, cartwheel hands all the way down to the mat, framing the right foot. Spin on the back foot, runner's lunge. Step the right foot long behind you, three-legged down dog. Reach it long, stretch. Then point the right toes to the sky as you bend the right knee. Take your gaze to the sky. Beautiful. Exhale, slowly come back down, downward dog. Maybe wag the tail a little in your down dog. Maybe bend the knees a little in your down dog. One more breath. Start to walk your way towards the top of the mat, whether it's flat foot or tippy toes. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift, bringing the fingertips to the shins. Exhale, fold, slide the hands to the back of the legs. Inhale, halfway lift, hands slide up to the back of the calves. Exhale, fold. Inhale, hands slide up, halfway lift, hands just to the very bottom of the glutes. Exhale, fold. Hands hang heavy like weights, bend into the knees, draw the belly button in. Inhale, roll yourself up, all the way up to your mountain pose. Nice and slow. Let it take several rounds of breath. Decide if you want to take the chin to the sky and roll the heart open, or just find it at the center, you decide. Exhale, we meet. Mountain pose. From your mountain pose, ground down into your feet. Take a big inhale, circle, sweep through the hands. Hinge at the hips, exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, halfway lift. As you exhale, plant the hands on the mat, pick your right foot up and step your right foot behind you this time. Dropping down onto your right knee, make sure your left knee is tracking over the left ankle. Finding your low lunge, your Anjaneyasana on the other side. You can intensify this pose by uncurling the toes behind you or keeping the toes curled under. Plant the right hand down to the inside of the left foot, and then inhale, reach the left hand high, stacking the shoulders. Lengthen long through the left fingertips first. And then we're gonna find those windmill circles with the left arm. So big circles with the left arm going 3 times one direction, and then 3 times the other direction. Beautiful. Exhale, release the left hand back down to the outside of the left foot. Inhale, lift the right knee off of the mat. Spin the right foot down onto the mat, finding it parallel to the back of the mat. Left elbow finds the top of the left knee. Inhale, reach the right hand high, side angle. Again, if you want to intensify this pose, you just extend the left arm to the inside of that left leg. Keeping the shoulders stacked, keeping life reaching through the right fingertips. Beautiful. Right hand finds the right hip. Next, inhale, rise up, and left hand finds the left hip. You're in that Warrior Two legs. And then bring all your attention into your legs. Press into the feet. Check in with the back foot. Press into the pinky edge. Lift the arch. Engage the inside of the right thigh. And then press into the left big toe. Keep that left knee tracking over the left ankle. 2 more breaths. Relax the face, 1 more breath. Inhale, straighten through the front leg, keeping the hands on the hips. Exhale, start to bend through the back knee, coming into your Skadasana at the back of the mat. Release the hands from the hips, either find the hands to the mat for support, or you can have them heart center, or even better, you can reach them up high to the sky if you want to get that big workout through the core. You decide. Take a big inhale. We're going to dance to the other side. Exhale, walk yourself over. Top of the mat. This time you're sitting into the left hip as you extend through the right leg. Inhale, exhale, back to the back of the mat, sitting into the right hip, extending through the left leg. Nice work. Bring your arms out wide into a nice T. With strength and power in the legs, we're going to rise into that warrior two at the top of the mat. So big inhale and rise up through the legs, finding your warrior two at the top of the mat. Adjusting your feet, finding your stance, finding your ground, and then keeping those arms nice and long, active through the arms. Nice job. One more breath. Big inhale. Exhale, cartwheel hands down to the mat, spinning on the back foot, framing the left foot with the hands. Plant the hands down, step the left foot back, three-legged down dog, extend it long, stretch it out. Then bend the left knee, point the left toes towards the sky, and then take your gaze to the sky. Oh, nice job. Exhale, release the left foot back to the mat, downward facing dog. Own your down dog for a moment, so pedal the feet, shimmy the hips, take any movement that might feel good here. Two more breaths. Widen out the shoulders, spread the shoulder blades apart in your down dog. Notice what that feels like. Nice. Now either tiptoe or flat foot your way to the top of the mat. Finding your feet close to your hands, forward fold into it. Inhale, half lift, fingertips find the shins. Exhale, fold, slide the hands behind the legs. Inhale, halfway lift, hands slide to the calves. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift, hands slide all the way up the back of the legs, right to the bottom of those glutes. Exhale, fold. Hands hang heavy, draw the belly button in, slight bend in your knees, inhale, roll yourself up. Last time doing this, maybe take your heart high, spread the collarbones, and exhale back to center. Maybe sway it out a little bit, little movement, maybe shake a little bit. Shaking can feel good, can help you release up any tension you might have lifted to the surface. And then find yourself back into a passive mountain pose. Start to heel toe the feet to the outer edges of the mat. Let your toes point out and your heels point in, so your feet are V'd. Then inhale, reach your arms up to a 45-degree angle, expanding into a 5-pointed star pose. So press into your feet, draw your belly button in. Lengthen the tailbone down as you reach the crown of the head high. Expand through all 5 fingers. Maybe close the eyes and take 3 rounds of breath. Expanding long in all 5 directions. Two more breaths. Nice work. As you float or open the eyes, inhale, reach the hands high. Hands touch above you. Exhale as you come down into a Malasana. Bend the knees, hands flow through heart center. As you come into your Malasana yogi squat, sit bones are down towards the earth. Feet are pressing down into the mat. If you're off of the heels, that's totally okay. About 5 more breaths here. You can have the hands at heart center, or if you need to, you can bring the hands down to the mat. You can bring the elbows onto the knees even. Last breath here. Nice work. Bring the hands around behind you, set the sit bones down onto the mat. Butterfly or bound angle or Baddha Konasana pose. Soles of the feet meet, knees fall out wide. Go ahead and flutter the knees a few times. Find stillness. Bring your hands to the tops of your feet. You can either interlace your hands around the tops of your feet or just have your hands loosely around the tops of those feet. You decide. Take a big inhale, lengthen through the crown of your head. And as you exhale, start to draw your heart down as you fold and hinge at the hips. You can choose to keep the hands at the feet, or if you want to, you can walk your hands out in front of you to intensify it a little bit, coming a little deeper into your fold. No matter where you go, though, keep the heart reaching forward, keep the sit bones pressing towards the earth. Let's take 3 more breaths in our forward fold, in our bound angle. Notice how it feels in the legs. Sensations you're getting there for 1 more breath. Inhale, start to rise yourself back up. Take your right leg out and your left foot to the inside of your right leg. Actively point up through the right toes. Take an inhale, lengthen through the crown of your head. As you exhale, fold between the legs. Perfect. Keep the sit bones rooting towards the earth. Only fold as far as feels right to you. Keep actively pointing through those right toes, pointing them towards the sky. Take another big inhale. And as you exhale, walk yourself over to the right leg. Coming into Janu Shirshasana. Get your torso squared over the right leg. Bring your arms to either side of the right leg. Keep the right leg nice and active. Take an inhale, lengthen up through the crown of your head. As you exhale, gently fold over the right leg. Let's take 3 more breaths here. Big inhale. Softening exhale. 2 more. Last one. Perfect. Inhale, start to walk yourself back up. Bring your hands to the back of your right knee and bring your right knee in towards your chest. Nice work. Bring your hands to the right ankle and start to just brush your hands up the right leg to the right knee. Nice little gentle brushing of the hands to stimulate the lymphatic system within the leg. Do it a couple more times. Nice long strokes. Perfect. Grab a hold of your right foot with your right hand and interlace your right toes with your right fingers. So interlacing the toes within the fingers of the left hand. Spreading out the toes, giving them a little bit of attention. Go ahead and work the toes back and forth a little bit, maybe side to side a little bit. Maybe you would like to do little circles, massaging the toes with the fingers. Perfect. Now maybe keep those hands in those toes and start to do circles with your ankles, going one direction, and then stop and go the other way. A few times more. Perfect. Release the left hand around the toes, and let's cradle the right leg. So wrap the arms around the outside of the right shin. Curl the right toes in towards the knees. Sit up nice and tall, so you're not slouching over the right leg, but instead you're nice and proud here. And maybe start to sway as you cradle that right leg. A few more breaths like this. Getting a nice massage to the right sit bone here. Nice work. Go ahead and stop your swaying and guide your right foot to the outside of your left thigh. Coming into Matsyendrasana, you can either keep the left knee bent and where it is if you feel good here, or if you'd like to modify this, you can extend the left leg long in front of you and just have the right foot crossed over the left thigh. Now, no matter where you are, press down through that right big toe mound. Settle down through both of your sit bones, so both sit bones are rooted to the earth. Swing your right hand back around behind you. Take an inhale, reach the left hand high, and you can either bring the left elbow to the outside of the left knee, or you can wrap the left arm around the right knee as you twist. Draw the belly button in as you twist towards that right leg. Take an inhale, lengthen through the crown of the head, and as you exhale, twist a little deeper. Let your chin follow the right shoulder. Maybe find like a staircase of breath. So every inhale, you lengthen up into the staircase. And every exhale, you take another step and you twist into it. 2 more breaths. Last breath here. Take a big inhale. And as you exhale, untwist. Simply pick the right foot up and bring the right foot over the top of the left knee. If your left knee is bent, go ahead and straighten it out in front of you. Drop the right knee out to the right side. And then bend your left knee to where your left foot comes next to your left hip. So you're in a deer pose or stag legs. Nice work. Now with your right hand, I'd like you to make a fist. And then take the knuckles of your right hand onto the top of your right knee and start to slide the knuckles up the right thigh towards the groin. So from the right knee to the groin, you're rubbing those knuckles all along the thigh of the right leg. Going through the quadricep across the top of the right thigh, the inside of the right thigh, getting the outer edge the best you can. Running the knuckles with long strokes up that right thigh towards the groin. Do this for another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and stop. Swing the right hand down next to the right hip. Fingertips face out to the side. Line your wrist up with your right shoulder. Press into your right hand, and with your next inhale, lift the hips and the heart as you drop the left hand behind you. Beautiful deer lift, expanding in front of your body. Exhale, slowly come back down. Swing that left foot back around and find your bound angle again, or your Baddha Konasana. Soles of the feet meet, knees are out wide. Go ahead and flutter out the knees a little bit. Nice work, yogis. Find stillness within the knees. And then take the left foot out towards the left side. Right foot comes to the inside of that left leg. Take a big inhale, lengthen through the crown of your head, and as you exhale, start to fold between the legs. Reaching through the center of the legs, actively point up through the left toes, activating the left leg. Take another inhale or two, feeling your breath here, feeling your length here. Take one more big inhale. And as you exhale, walk over to the left leg, find your Janu or Shirshasana, bringing your hands to either side of the left leg, grabbing either the hold of the foot, the ankle, or the calf, doesn't matter which. Center your torso over the left leg, and keep the heart reaching forward, so you're getting a really good stretch through the back and the back of the left leg. Every inhale, find a little more length. And every exhale, a little more fold. Let's take 3 more breaths. Last breath here. Inhale, slowly start to walk yourself back up. Bring your hands to the back of your left knee and hug your left knee in towards your chest. Bring your fingertips to the bottom of your left ankle and start to do long brushes up the left leg towards the left knee. Again, stimulating that lymphatic system in the leg, helping the legs get rid of all the toxins. Do this for a few more moments. Long, compassionate brushes. Beautiful. Go ahead and stop. Grab a hold of the left foot. Interlace the left toes with the right fingers. Spreading out those left toes. Really good to create dexterity within the toes and the feet. So go ahead and massage the toes, work them back and forth, maybe a little side to side, maybe a little circles. Nice. Keeping the fingers in the toes. Go ahead and start to do circles with the ankle, going one direction 3 times, and then the other direction 3 times. Beautiful. Release the interlacing of the fingers around the toes, and then cradle the left leg. Bringing the arms to the outside of the shin, maybe interlacing the fingers or just having the hands overlap, doesn't matter which. Engage the left leg a little bit. Curl those left toes in towards the knee. And then sit up nice and tall and start to sway. So remember, no slouching here. Staying nice and proud, nice and tall as you cradle that left leg. Massaging out the left sit bone maybe against the earth. Doing this for just a few more rounds of breath. Nice work, yogis. Go ahead and stop. And bring that left foot all the way to the outside of your right thigh. And again, you can either do full Matsyendrasana with that right knee bent, or come into half Ardha Matsyendrasana, straightening out the right leg in front of you and just simply having the left foot over the top of that right thigh. Press down through the left big toe mound. Swing the left hand back behind you. Inhale, reach up through the right hand, extend through the right side of the body. Choose to either bring that right elbow to the outside of the left knee, or just simply wrap the right arm around the left leg coming into your twist. Remember, both options are best. What's most important here is that you're rooted down through both sit bones, so pressing through that left big toe mound, taking an inhale, lengthening through the crown of your head, and using your exhale to twist a little deeper. And there's no weight in that back hand. That back hand's there more as a guide, more as like a kickstand. Stay for another 3 or 4 rounds of breath. Last breath here. Big inhale to prepare, and an exhale to simply unwind. Nice work. Now, no matter where you are, pick your left foot up. Bring your left foot back over the top of the right leg. If your right knee is bent, straighten your right leg out first. Drop your left knee out to the left side, and then bend your left knee to where your right knee to where your right foot comes next to your right hip for your stag legs, your deer pose. Once you're set up through there, go ahead and find your fist with your left hand, finding the left knuckles on top of the left knee, and then slide the knuckles down the left thigh. Up the left thigh towards the groin. Big long strokes, massaging out through the quad, the inner thigh. Maybe even seeing if you can get down into the outside thigh. Remember, big long strokes with enough pressure to where it feels good. A little self massage. Do this for another 5, 4, 3, 2. Last good stroke. Nice. Go ahead and stop. Slide the left hand down next to the left hip. Fingertips face out to the side. Make sure that the wrist lines up with the shoulder. Press into the left hand. Inhale, lift the hips and the heart, and drop the right hand back, opening up the front of the body. Nice work. Exhale, slowly come down. Swing the right leg out and around. Bring the left leg out. Bring the legs together just slightly and wiggle them out. Maybe little strokes down the legs a little bit. And then let's make our way into our Savasana. Go ahead and lay all the way onto your back. Bring your arms down by your sides or rest your hands on your body. Close your eyes. Begin to soften the outer shell of your face. So soften in between the eyebrows, the corners of the eyes, the corners of the mouth. And soften that little space just in front of the ears. Now bring all your attention into your legs. Notice any new sensations or any release that you might be feeling in the legs. Notice how maybe your feet feel, the toes. Our legs carry us through so much. It's important that we give them some attention, a little bit of love. Rest here, yogis, for a few more moments, letting this nice deep stretch practice soak in and take hold. I'd like to leave you here in your Savasana to rest as long as you'd like. Thank you so much for allowing Angel and I to guide you today. From our hearts to yours, namaste.